Tonight's project, this beautiful old spun copper light fixture. Now this thing is just all patina and gorgeous, but no socket in it. Luckily, gotta love standards that have been kicking around for years. Home Depot, $5. We have the correct socket for it. Problem is, this fixture was from an era when there was no grounds. There was no ground bonding. So we gotta figure out how to add a ground connection to this so we can use it outside. But we don't want to destroy any of this finish, and I definitely don't want to drill through any of this, because really, that's just sacrilege. So we're gonna solder to it. Well, this is a big heavy copper heatsink. So use a torch, but if we use a torch on the backside, we risk burning up all this gorgeous patina. So you want to limit the heat that we put into it. We still have to get a piece of it to, 600-700 degrees. So what we're going to use is a soldering iron. But not just any soldering iron. A 50-year-old soldering iron. This is what's known as a high mass soldering iron. So this, you can feel, this is about 2.5 pounds. Compared to, say, standard little, 40-watt soldering station for electronics. You can see the difference. Now, not only does this thing weigh a whole lot, but it has a whole lot more power to it. This iron, running on the meter, sitting right at 220 watts. Whereas that little electronic iron is probably running at 25. So this is, 10 times as much. So hopefully, with that little creativity, we'll be able to solder a ground lead on here without destroying this beautiful finish. So let's get started. So, standard rules apply. We're going to pick a spot, shine it up real good. Cleanliness is godliness when it comes to soldering. And flux. This is not electronics flux. This is pipe soldering flux, but it will work just the same. Apply a little flux to the area you want to solder. We'll get that big iron in here, and we'll see if we can tin that up. Pardon me, I have to walk a couple feet away because the only thing I have that can keep this safe is clamping it in my bench vise. So, let us try and see if we can get some solder to stick to this. You know what? Before we go too far, let's see if we can get a little fume extractor going here. That's better. So we can get some solder work done to this. There we go. We've got a solder pad laid down. If we look on the outside, we didn't destroy that patina. Just fantastic. So now, set up our ground lead here. See if we can work that. Ground lead. We'll get that tinned up, and we shall put these together. Nice. Now comes the tricky part. Boom. Beautiful. Not my prettiest work. It's certainly solid. And on the back side, you can show me where we heated that copper up and did not destroy the finish. Alright, and there we go. Add some wires. Add a vintage shade. There we go. Good for the next 100 years.